How's it going, everyone? This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Wednesday. Wow, I am so happy to do this show once again, especially because I really do love talking about everything of what's going on. So, it is what I love to do since it's something that's very fun and that's very entertaining to me, especially, you know. So, with that being said, there are a lot of interesting topics to talk about on today's show, especially with it almost being September of 2021. So, let's get started, shall we? Alright, so let's start off with Meghan Thee Stallion and BTS. It has been reported that Meghan Thee Stallion was initially prevented from releasing a remix with BTS. Now, BTS has a song called Butter. It's a very popular song. It went #1 in the charts. And Meghan Thee Stallion wanted to chime in with a remix. But unfortunately, her record label, 1501 Certified Entertainment, Prince and 300 Entertainment, recently engaged and were trying to make a move and blocking Meghan Thee Stallion from releasing a remix with BTS. Now, apparently, that idea failed from the record label because apparently a Texas judge ruled in favor of Meghan Thee Stallion's request to extend the temporary restraining order that would permit her to release a BTS Butter remix this Friday. So, the court found the order said that failure to enter a temporary restraining order at this time would cause irreparable injury. It also said Crawford 1501 Certified Entertainment J, Prince and 300 Entertainment have recently engaged and will continue to engage in conduct preventing the release of her new music, which would irreparably damage her goodwill, reputation, and overall music career and infringes on her rights to self-expression through her music. End quote. Now, okay. With this situation going on, you guys, I feel like Meghan Thee Stallion needs to part ways with this record label. Like, I completely understand that it's nice to have a record label that's promoting your music, especially if you're having huge hits, like the huge hits that Meghan Thee Stallion has been having. But at the same time, I don't think it's a good thing that you're having a record label that's controlling what you're doing and that's basically doing stuff that's hurting you. Like with this case, for example. So this situation is kind of reminding me of it's kind of reminding me of the situation that Taylor Swift went through with her old record label, Big Machine, where unfortunately Big Machine got owned by Scooter Braun, and then unfortunately they took over all of her discography and they controlled all of her discography, all of her albums from that label. So then Taylor had to re-record all of her albums because of that, because of all the control that was going on. And this is kind of reminding me of that, but with the difference that Meghan Thee Stallion is not being controlled by her albums, but she's just being controlled, but she is being controlled for her releases, and she is being controlled for whether or not she wants to release something. So with that being said, it really is similar through what Taylor and Meghan Thee Stallion are going through. So I feel like I said, Meghan Thee Stallion needs to part ways and she needs to find a better record label that won't control her and that won't be that won't be preventing her from releasing something So that's what I think in this situation. And I personally think that a BTS remix with Megan Thee Stallion would actually be really good, like big time. And good thing though that the judge over in Texas was able to fix this whole entire situation and was able to let Megan Thee Stallion release the remix after all this Friday, you know. So so I really, really am happy for Megan Thee Stallion for actually, winning this case and for being able to release this remix. And I honestly think that Megan Thee Stallion and BTS would sound really good together. Like, really. I mean, I think I can already imagine the mashup is just gonna be stupendous, especially because there is like very good, beat in between BTS and Megan Thee Stallion. I can already imagine. So, anyways, that's what I think, and I feel like as an artist, um, yes, there is gonna be, good things about being in a record label. Like, of course, the record label is gonna be promoting your music. The record label is going to be, um, making sure that everything is done right when it comes to your music, especially. But at the same time, I mean, it's not good when you're being dictated and you're not allowed to do certain things. Like, you're not allowed to release something whenever you want, or you're not allowed to go off um, and do a music video if you want to, or write songs the way you want to, stuff like that. Sometimes that could happen, or like in Megan's situation, just decide not to release a song just because the record label doesn't want you to. So unfortunately, there's those bad situations that go on within a record label right there. So um anyways, all I have to say is good luck to Megan Thee Stallion for the situation. I wish her lots of luck, and that's all I have to say. Well, anyways, from Megan Thee Stallion to now The View. Well, The View is now going on to its 25th season on September 7th. And apparently a lot of people have been talking about it because Meghan McCain will not be on the show anymore. As we all know, Meghan McCain left the show back in August when season 24 ended, because Meghan McCain has decided to stay in DC and has decided not to move back to New York because she feels comfortable living in DC, and because her daughter Liberty is now being raised over in DC and wants her daughter to still be living in DC. So those are the reasons. But many people out there that are a huge fan of The View are happy that Meghan McCain is leaving The View, because a lot of people hated the way Meghan McCain was with her opinions, and they hated the way she yelled and ranted towards the co-hosts. And I mean, a lot of people are already thinking of who is going to be replacing Meghan McCain on The View. Many people are saying that maybe Candace Owens is going to be replacing Meghan McCain, maybe Megyn Kelly. Some people even say that maybe Mary Trump is going to be replacing Meghan McCain. There are a lot of huge rumors out there. On that maybe these co-hosts might be the potential replacement to Meghan McCain. That these women might be the potential replacement to Meghan McCain. Now, I personally think that The View is going to take time to find a replacement for Meghan McCain, because apparently it's not going to be easy to find a very good conservative to be filling in for Meghan McCain permanently. Like, really. It's not going to be easy at all, because when it comes to being a TV host, especially a conservative TV host in an all liberal show like The View, it's very hard, because they need someone that will actually stand up for their views, that'll point the facts at their face, that'll, someone that will make them, not just make themselves sound good, but also, you know what they're saying when it comes to pointing out their facts about their own views. They need someone that actually knows what they're doing, period. So that's what The View is looking for, because if The View is going to be looking for someone that's not going to be as good as Meghan McCain was, or as good as Elizabeth Hasselbeck was, then the thing is that The View's ratings are going to go down, and then that's when The View is not going to really do as good as it is. It's not going to even be in the number one spot anymore, because currently the show is the most watched daytime talk show in America right now, The View. So, I mean, I think it's a very good idea what The View is doing right now, that they're just taking their time and are looking for who to replace Meghan with. And rumors have it that throughout the beginning of season 25, The View is going to be having rotating conservative co-hosts replacing Meghan. So basically, they're going to have one co-host and then another co-host and then another co-host, just to see which one is really qualified to be replacing Meghan permanently. So it's basically like an audition that they're going to have on The View. It's an audition, and it's going to be very interesting just to see, because, I mean, it's like a competition, basically. Like, who is more qualified? Who will be the best one to replace Meghan? That's what I personally think. But in my opinion, I feel like, I personally feel like Elizabeth Hasselbeck needs to return to The View as the conservative voice, because Elizabeth Hasselbeck, she killed it as a co-host on The View. Let's be real. I loved her views. I loved the way she stood up against those women, especially since it's an all-liberal show. I loved the way she was not afraid to stand up for herself. And also, I feel like Elizabeth was very open-minded. And that's something that The View needs back on that show, Which, speaking of which, Elizabeth Hasselbeck actually made a statement about returning to The View just recently, and she said that as of now, she's happy to be living in Tennessee, and she also said that her time on The View was wonderful, but at the same time it was overwhelming for her and her family. And then I remember Elizabeth Hasselbeck even went on and said that it is possible that maybe she can return to The View, remotely or not, or traveling all the way up to New York. That's what she also said. So basically, she basically was trying to tell us that it is possible that she can return to The View, but she won't be leaving Nashville. That's the thing, because The View is basically being taped in New York City. Elizabeth lives all the way in Nashville. So, I mean, it's possible that Elizabeth Hasselbeck can return to The View with traveling, but as of now, I mean, nothing has been confirmed if she's down to actually return to The View as the conservative voice. That's the thing. But it would be nice, though, having to see her back on that show. Big time. Very nice. So yeah, that's what I think. That's what I personally think. And I mean, it would also be nice, having to see a good old face, a good old pal from the past on The View anyways. So yeah. But initially though, before it was announced that they were going to be doing these rotating co-hosts on The View, it was rumored that Debbie Matenopoulos was going to be replacing Meghan as a co-host. Now, I don't know if Debbie Matenopoulos is a conservative or not, but what I do know, though, is that it was confirmed. It was not confirmed. It was rumored that Debbie was going to be replacing Meghan, and that Debbie's ABC representatives, well, not ABC, Debbie's representatives were speaking to the ABC executives to see if it was all right, if Debbie were to join The View for its 25th season. And then also her representatives were also speaking to ABC if it was all right for Debbie to do other projects for ABC, not just The View. So there have been conversations, and this rumor was going around like over a month ago. But as of now, still nothing has been said if Debbie will be replacing Meghan or not. But I mean, it would also be nice to see Debbie back on the table, because I mean, Debbie Matenopoulos is also a very good friend, of the co-hosts of The View. And of course, she was one of the original co-hosts of that show. She started that show along with Barbara, Joy, Starr, and Meredith back in 1997, back when I was born, y'all. Anyway, so yeah, she started that show with them, and like I said, it would be nice just to see an original, especially since Joy Behar is there still on The View. So I mean, I think that Joy and Debbie would get along just fine, just so well. So that's my opinion. Now, on my opinion on Candace Owens maybe being the replacement for Meghan McCain, which I hope that's not the case, I think that it would just be a huge disaster if they add Candace Owens to be a co-host of The View. A huge disaster. It would just be a horrible idea, because Candace Owens, she's a very tough conservative. And yes, The View needs one like that, a tough conservative. But the thing is that Candace Owens will just get into a huge fight with Joy, Whoopi, Sunny, Sarah, and Anna. She'll just get into that. She will get into a huge fight, because Candace Owens, when it comes to her conservative views, she is, oh Lord. I mean, she's very tough. Very, very tough, and very defensive. That's my personal opinion, And she is a Trump supporter, and of course, The View is more anti-Trump. So that'll just make things very bad. And another thing is that Candace, she basically is completely against Joe Biden, like big time. I mean, and plus she bashes the liberals so much, especially on her Twitter. So I honestly think that Candace Owens and the ladies of The View would just not mix. Let's just be real here. They won't mix. I mean, it was already bad having Meghan McCain on The View. I mean, Meghan McCain, Well, it was good because she was a great conservative, but I mean, they already had their bad moments though with Meghan McCain and her views, you know. But at least Meghan McCain was not a Trump supporter, and at least Meghan McCain agreed with the ladies of the View in a few things. You know, at least there was some positives with Meghan McCain. With Candace Owens, I don't think there's gonna be one way or the other with her. It's all gonna be just a war with Candace. Period. It's gonna be a war. It's gonna be it would be a disaster. So I personally think that, like I said, Candace Owens should not join The View. 0. Now, as for Megyn Kelly seems like an okay selection. I mean, she seems more calm, more mature, more understanding in a way, I guess. But I mean, I'm not sure though if ABC would ever let her in though, because of her blackface comments that she made back when she was on the Today Show, which, by the way, is what got her fired from that show and from that network for making those comments. So I don't think ABC would really want to let her in because of that. Now, for Mary Trump, well, Mary Trump, she is like related to Donald Trump, but, and she did get into a heated debate with Meghan McCain last year, I remember. But I personally think that Mary Trump, especially considering that she's related to Donald Trump, I really don't think it would also be a good idea to have her on the show because, I mean, like I said, what if she goes off and speaks in favor of Trump and then things just go disastrous in that show? So, I feel like, The View needs, yes, a tough conservative, but not a conservative that's going to be supporting Trump 24/7 and that's going to be in favor of Trump 24/7. No, I don't think The View needs that. I feel like The View needs a conservative that will, yes, be in favor of the Republicans and maybe sometimes even be in favor with Trump. But at the same time, I feel like The View needs a just a balanced out Republican. Like, yes, agree with the rest of the co-hosts who happen to be liberals, but at the same time have their territory of their opinion, their thinking, and of course something that the rest of the co-hosts will completely disagree in. Just have it balanced out with whoever is going to be chosen as the conservative co-host. That's what I feel should be chosen for The View. Someone that's balanced. So yeah, that's my opinion right there. That's my opinion on who should be chosen as for being on The View and on who should be on The View. So, anyways, with that being said, that is it for today's show, you guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This discussion was actually pretty interesting. It was actually pretty cool. I mean, especially talking about The View and talking about Meghan Thee Stallion. So, anyways, stay tuned for more episodes of The Jose Show, you guys. This show is getting good. Okay, so till next time, peace, y'all.